heart rages around like an ocean in my head, because there are so many things that I left unsaid.
Go, 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 Angel, go! Look out, you're wide open, and an easy score.
And we are back here again. I gotta fix my audio. Make it more friendly to what we're doing here. There we go, back here, and Mr. Anthony Caruso here. No stranger to Southwest Missouri and some of these teams down this direction here.
Nope, I've been playing in the Cabool Christmas Tournament I played in it 5 times in my career. So, I'm very familiar with this tournament. It's a 16-school small team tournament. It's very packed. It gets really packed on championship night. It's one of the best atmospheres you can play in. But it's also one of the most demanding, especially if you're like Pocahontas and you have to travel here every night.
Feels like the pace of the games here compared to the Rolla tournament, coming from that, a lot quicker pace of games in smaller schools compared to some of the bigger schools. You know, they slow things down a lot more.
Well, it depends on which game you watch, Allen. If you watched our Hazelwood game, it looked pretty fast to me.
Yes, there was some that was very quick, and other games were very one-sided and very slow in the second half.
Well, right here you have 2 very competitive teams. I mean, look at these guys. They're on the ground. Number 11, he looks like the grittiest player I might have ever seen. In red, he's on every loose ball, he's on the floor.
Coffee, seen him earlier this year, a real good player for Pocahontas there, and Mountain View Liberty coming off state playoff appearance for football there. Well, so is Pocahontas in Arkansas.
They said number 11 carried the ball 49 times in 2 games. And then he put on a basketball uniform. They made a deep run. I think they were 1 game away from the state championship game.
Yes, well, one from the state tournament.
Well, they were in the state tournament, no?
Well, they do a regional, then they do the state after regional.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Arkansas, I do kind of like the idea of...
It's a round-robin district tournament, then you play in the regional, and then you'll play... I think top 6 make it in the state championship or something like that in Arkansas.
I do like the idea of finishing second in districts and still getting advanced into the next bracket of the state.
It used to be like that in Missouri, actually, at one point.
Really?
There used to be 6 to 8 teams in each football district, and you just played your schedule, and they just seeded you that way, and then when you played districts, the top 2 moved on to the actual tournament. But that was many moons ago.
Look at that pass. There you go. Number 4, he's a pretty solid player for him. I believe he's just a sophomore.
Yes, he is.
He's had some good showings. I think he had a 30-point night down there at the Mammoth Springs tournament. I watched him down at the Van Buren Kern River Classic. He had a good showing out there. I think that's a real good young talent that Coach Pills has got to work with right there.
I would say he does too there. You can tell their style of basketball down there. It's not a lot of wasting your time out here at half court with Arkansas, because you've got the 35-second limitation no matter what every single play.
That's right. They have the shot clock down there. There's a lot of Missouri coaches that are pulling for the shot clock.
I think it's one of those where you're either for it or coaches are against it. It's not kind of a middle ground, it seems like, on that one. But I could see bigger schools eventually adopting it, where if they make a rule where bigger schools have to use it, I could see that eventually coming in.
It'll be interesting to see how NFHS and MSHSAA wind up implementing that. MSHSAA kind of snuck it this fall into, the format of tournaments and shootouts.
Yeah. Well, technically they could be doing a shot clock this tournament with how many games there are, but
they could. But you had to notify the schools, and I believe all schools had to agree to it. But if you go back to the voting of, what MSHSAA put out their questionnaire as far as does anybody want a shot clock? I believe the number was, the large majority was no, we do not want a shot clock in the state of Missouri. And then in the fall, it was, here's your opportunity to use the shot clock.
Well, I think what's going to happen is eventually it's going to come down as a rule requirement eventually from NFHS as a standard.
I would say you're probably right, Alan. They're making a few rule changes here in the past few years. I mean, eliminating the 1-and-1, going to the shoot 2 at 5.
It's very similar to the old women's college rules. Well,
right.
Current women's college rules, but
and we've adapted. And I have not noticed a lot of changes in the game.
I think we're actually a little shorter on games, I think, now than what we used to be, time-wise average.
Yeah.
So a lot of games are averaging 40 minutes, I think, when I go to edit them, which compared to before, it used to be at least an hour per game. So I did think it did save some time in the long run in most games.
That's interesting. Oh, and I'm glad I made it down. I was driving down Highway 17, getting ready to turn on 60, and I remember my old friend Coach Caruso here, who's coaching the Redskins. He's got a game tonight. I thought I'd stop in and say hi, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Oh, not a problem there. Appreciate you coming over there. And so overall, the Rolla tournament there, kind of what's a wrap up with how everything went with that. You came away with a victory today over St. Pius.
Yeah, it's hard to beat a team twice. We made sure our guys their engines were revved up this morning. It's hard to wake up, play a game at 9 a.m. It's even tougher, within 24 hours of trying to handle a defeat. But our guys, they answered the bell and worked out really well in our favor. At the games, I felt like we probably could have been a little bit more competitive, put ourselves in better positions to win. But I do like some of the things that I saw in that tournament. I think our young guys are growing. They're taking on more responsibility. They're getting a better feel for the varsity game.
Seen a lot of really good ball handling today during that game this morning.
It is. Kids are resilient. We start 3 sophomore guards, and we ask them to do a lot of things that they didn't get to do. Last year, coming from the freshman team to maybe the JV team, a lot of the guys didn't get a lot of playing time on the varsity, but that they're doing what they're asking, they're doing what's asked of them, and they're growing. We're getting better, and I like our character and how we respond to adversity. We don't get down on ourselves. We're not negative. We don't try to tear each other down. I like the team that we're becoming. It's hard to be a good teammate. I feel like those young guys are becoming good teammates. Look at that kid. He's about 6'4".
Yes, there's some talent there. I don't have the heights on here, but I believe a couple of them are 6'3", 6'4".
Number 12, I believe he's a senior.
Yep, Swan. The game in the Current River Shootout, he was a real standout in that one.
He was.
He was, essentially could do what he wanted inside the paint.
He can. I like this young guard, number 23 as well. I believe he's a senior.
Yep, Kios. He's another one that able to hit some key threes when need to, and good ball handler.
I think these guys are really enjoying, what Coach Phillips has brought, his style, his way of coaching, his style of play. I think these guys have really enjoyed that. They didn't have a lot of success in the past few years. It's been nice to see Coach Bills be able to retire and get to enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
Coaching basketball and being successful at it.
Well, he's still got to work as a middle school principal.
Right? I know it's a blessing for Coach Bills to get to work with elementary kids every day. They say working with the young ones keeps you young. So Coach is adding years to his life by working with the young kids.
Honestly, one of my favorite places to sub is in the elementaries, though. No day is the same there.
No.
Generally, the high school day, you can kind of predict your day from what the schedule says. If you're doing the same class, you know what you're going to do every hour, basically. Elementary, your plans can change in a hurry depending on how sometimes the class just don't want to cooperate that well, and then you're doing some extra recess or you're doing something to...
Look at that pass. He's able to save it, though.
See an example there, the ball
knocks it down. Oh. Man. That was about to be a good sequence of events.
Yeah, I mean, just the way with the shot clock and the way Bill's offense is, it really works well down in Arkansas. And it's kind of a mix between slowing it down, but he keeps a tempo going when they're on offense.
Yeah. With the shot clock, you're able to do a few things. The clock itself can be something that triggers some sort of a defensive change. It can trigger an offensive change. You can run a set at a certain number. You can change the defense at a certain number. And it's big and it's bold and red right above the goal. So I mean, you can see it on offense. It's a little bit tougher on defense, but I think guys can communicate that out. I mean, they can see it on the other side of the floor.
Now, looking at this weekend there, you had the shot clock at S&T up there. They didn't use it, but it was up there. And also Rolla High School appears. I'm pretty sure there's a shot clock built in that new system there. They got the shot clock on it.
They got all the bells and whistles in that new gym.
And that is a very nice gym that they built right there.
Yes, it is.
Now, their media area is a little higher than this one. But now something like that, that'd be a good example to show, for MSHSAA to show kind of what a shot clock could do though down the road, if they wanted to ever implement that, or both facilities have the ability to do that.
Yeah. Here's the old triangle. It's amazing that something so simple can work. You don't have to reinvent basketball. The little things, the simple things can work. I mean, look at that. Wide open driving lane.
I do that with my youth basketball team all the time, and you'd be amazed how far you can stretch the defense out. And all it takes is one to be out of position. You got a wide open layup, just pass over everybody.
Feels like every time the Redskins get an opportunity to start to pull away, there's a whistle that goes against them.
That happens there. That is Swan with his second foul. So he is probably... I wonder if he's going to take a break for a little bit here. Well, I don't see a sub... Well, maybe. Nope. I don't see a sub coming in for him, so... And he's one of those players, really a good defensive stand player down there that kind of...
He's a good, strong body. I imagine Coach Bills will want to hold the ball for the last shot here. Let's see if these guys let him do that. Here we go. We got some triangle delay coming in.
Well, looks like their defense are going to let them take their time there. They're, in a 2-1-2 defense, or... Are they in a zone there?
They are in a zone.
I was about to say, now they're in a 2... Now they're in a 2... Well, looks like they're in a 2-3, but they're in a zone for sure.
Now they put that guy right dead center in the middle of the lane after giving up that last layup. They said, not again. Now this kid's going to have to get this ball out of his corner. Here we go. Oh, you got to get a shot. There it is. Buzzer beater. Allen, man, I appreciate you. I better get down to the wife and kids.
All right, not a problem there. We will see you later there. We're going to go into the break. It is Pocahontas on top by 7.